Today we are doing a full Imaginarum theater guide. We're going to go through this Imaginarum theater and hopefully give you tips not only to defeat this particular one, but also overall strategies that will help you clear Imaginarum theaters in the future. So even if you're watching this when this particular theater has passed, the principles that you learn here will still stand. Welcome to Jello Impact, where we build and test every single character to help you decide who you want to wish for and build. All right, so as usual, Imaginarum theater is first and foremost a number of characters check. You have to have enough characters to actually get through, well, to actually play the thing in the first place. So leveling up all those 4 stars that you have, all those lost 50/50s to standard banner characters to level 70, all of those 5 stars that maybe you got when you were new that maybe aren't as meta as they once were or never were, this is the time where they're going to shine. And if you don't have enough characters for it, honestly, don't worry about it. I don't recommend pulling characters specifically to beat the Imaginarum theater. Obviously, if you never get any, cryo characters, getting some cryo characters, the really meta ones like Escoffier and maybe Skirk, isn't a bad idea if you have the pulls. But I don't recommend just pulling, oh, there's a yoimiya on banner, I'll get her because I don't have very many pyro characters. Don't try and do that. But if there's a character that you like, this gives you an extra incentive to use them, especially if they're from an element that you haven't gotten. But generally speaking, through just playing the game and getting the characters you like, you'll generally end up with enough 4 stars and enough 5 stars that you won't have to go out of your way to wish for characters. It's only maybe you find yourself having an absolute ton of different characters, but you still don't have the right elements for certain theaters, then you could start considering strategic wishes into very meta characters here and there for Imaginarum theater. You can check out my tier list, and if there's a tier 0 or tier 0.5 character that's of an element that you don't have any of, then maybe that's the pickup that you go for. So, wishing out of the way, the next thing to think about is the trial characters. The trial characters, they're not amazingly built, but they're built well enough to carry you through Imaginarum theater. The DPS checks of Imaginarum theater are quite a bit lower, so using the trial characters is perfectly fine. I'm going to pick all the trial characters here. The other nice thing is that you don't have to worry about your trial characters being built or not, because they're built. You don't have to build them myself. The only thing I see looking at here, I do like to take a quick look at the builds, because this is a physical Rosaria build, which is pretty insane if you're asking me. Rhinsley's looking fine. This Dolly's looking really good. Childe's looking pretty alright. Rust kind of sus, but Xiangling, I would not go with this Xiangling build. She's probably going to really struggle with energy, so I'm going to go with my own instead. That's a bit of a red flag. And the Rosaria is a bit weird, but I'm going to go for it anyways. And then Linny, yeah, see, mine doesn't have the artifacts yet, so we're going to go next. All right, the next thing to consider is if you have friends, you can choose friend characters. I never use my friends. I don't even know where the screen is. Where is it? Aha. So here you can borrow from a friend's account. I think you can only borrow 1. Yeah, I never use my friends except for April. Buro? That's crazy. Get out of here. Okay, so the next thing is to choose your characters. Obviously, you want to go with whatever you have that is strongest and well built. Whether they're a DPS or a support, it's not even the biggest deal that you have the perfect balance of DPSs and supports. You just don't want to have all of one thing and none of another. But there have been plenty of times where I have done 2 DPSs in one run in Imaginarum theater. It's not a big deal. It's not as support impact as other game modes. In addition, don't be afraid to use your DPSs as a sort of elemental support. I have used yoimiya as a off-field pyro applicator to vape Mualani's hits, for example. So really don't be afraid to get out of the box and think in unconventional ways to make the right synergies happen. So Skirk's my favorite character. We're obviously going to choose Skirk, Escoffier, Shenhe, but I'm going to choose some whatever characters as well. We'll take Eula, we'll take Ganyu, we'll take Ayaka. Maybe this is not relatable, but I don't really care. It's not really about being relatable or not. It's more for the thought process behind everything. So we'll try and take some supports. We'll try and take some DPS. We'll definitely take... Is there Electro characters? Is there any point taking Chev? No, not really. So we'll leave Chev behind. Maybe we'll grab a Chongyun. We'll leave Sitlali and Muika maybe, just because they're about to be on banners, so maybe it's a bit more relatable that way. And here we can add 4 extra characters to give different buffs. I've done challenge runs where I don't add the 4 characters, but there's no point in being hard on yourself and not adding them. I'll just add some really mid 4 stars or just some 4 stars in general. Okay, so there we are. We've added our characters. I didn't really plan that. I just chose a selection of characters that one might have and that I could see myself having if I played this game for fun and not for meta. I could see myself having these characters. So let's give it a start. Oh, I meant to look at their builds. You really want to check their builds before just going into this blind, because I have gotten to the very end planning to use a certain DPS like Hu Tao and then realized she doesn't have any artifacts, and I had to switch my entire strategy because of that. I'm going to just keep going because I don't really want to go back and fix it. Hopefully I don't regret that. Hopefully this is not a famous last word scenario. Alright, so starting here, there's basically two schools of thought in which strategies to take. You're basically going to go in finding good companions, so finding your characters that are hidden somewhere in the Imaginarum theater, and building synergistic teams and getting the real strategies together and going on. And that is a valid strategy, and I have seen that work. If your account is a bit more underdeveloped, if you're not a super invested account and you don't have all your characters super well built, and you're using a lot more 4-stars, a lot of weaker builds, a lot more mid characters, then going the second strategy and focusing more on reactions is the better choice. Lately, Genshin's reactions have been much stronger in Imaginarum Theater than they used to be, so picking up these reaction buffs is much more valuable than it once was, and obviously you could do a mix of both, but I'm gonna go for the reaction strategy for this. It's also a bit more fun, it's a bit more unique. I don't really pay too much attention exactly what they're doing, but I like to have the reaction buff so that we can get a real boost out of our frozen characters. So now we get to choose. If I'm using good characters, I want to choose buffs that buff the characters, and if I'm using bad characters, I want to choose buffs that give reaction damage regardless of what characters I'm using. So for example, Coldstream Wave dealing hydro damage. So this is just like a base reaction damage, so not based on your character's stats. And this one decreases hydro and cryo res, so this will be more valuable if you have well-built characters. So I'm gonna go with this one because this is the one that you'd use if your characters suck, and I may have some really mid characters on my account. This is another frozen buff. We already chose 2 frozen buffs. I don't want to choose a third because I want to save some flowers for other types of buffs in the next one. So we're going to choose from our enemies list. These Y-Obs, you need to do damage to their shield, and the Ruin Guards are just normal enemies. I generally like to go with the normal enemies so that I don't have to think about any goofy mechanics or annoyances. So we're just going to go with this guy. Alright, here we go. Let's see. We can start off with maybe applying Linny and then nuking Child's Burst. It doesn't really matter what you do at this point, because the enemies are just frankly a joke. So we don't really care what's going on. Although, as I say this, we're kind of struggling to clear this boss.
You can't run.
Because we've got physical Rosaria, etc.
Let's stir things up. Thus saith the animal archon.
Riptide.
Here comes the finale. Judgment. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have to try this again. And if we can't beat it, then we'll go back and swap out one of our characters for a better one. But you want to give it your best shot to use bad characters as much as possible. Oops, I didn't want to do that.
Lights out.
Wasting Linny's skill is not what we wanted to do.
West wind, judgment.
Now disappear. Let's get this show on the road. You can run, but you stay.
Punishment. Yeah, thus saith the animal.
And voila! Here comes the finale.
You can't run. Let's stir things up.
Riptide.
Yeah. Lights out. Surprise baptism. May the Archon
Surprise baptism? Oh my god. Surprise baptism is crazy work. So it's looking like I'm having a bit of trouble with this team. So we are going to swap out someone. So maybe we'll do Child National with Xiangling. I need Dahlia. I think that's just an excuse to say I want Skirk to support my Wriothesley. That's what I
You
think.
can't run. Punishment. May the Archon protect.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Alright, this is going to go a lot better, I think. So, unfortunately, we had to use one of our good characters for this, which is being Xiangling. But I just wasn't able to do it. I should have picked a character before, but you still get the you get the idea of what I was going for with the strategy. So anytime you can, you want to choose bad characters.
Yeah. This should be fun.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Alright, there we go. For a lot of players, getting the Primo Gems is going to be enough, so all you need to do is go for the time. For higher level players, you're going to want to get all the Fantasia flowers so that you can get the artifact crafting elixirs. Alright, Xingqiu or Mona. I think we'll go with Xingqiu here. We always take the free mystery cachet, that's something we're always going to do. So restore 1 vigor to 1 random cast principal, but 30 fewer Fantasia flowers, or 1 random guest joins the principal cast, but after defeating the combat event. So we get our character, we get our character 1 round early. So either we get an extra use to one of our current characters. If it's Xiangling, it's really good. If it's the others, I don't really care. So I'm going to take an extra character now, and I'm going to refresh the events because I want to see another new character. Yeah, I'm feeling just we're lacking a little bit in characters, and we have lots of flowers, so I'm going to get Toma.
I guess the housework can wait.
And I think I'm going to keep going from here. I want to see more buffs, but for now, I don't. Okay, so we have these guys. I think these guys are the least annoying. They have those Geoshields, though, so that's kind of annoying. These guys always have self-applied pyro. Maybe this one's fine. We have Xingqiu and Tartaglia, so maybe that will be good. So we'll go with Tartaglia. This we'll try and use Lenny again. I'm just gonna try and use Dahlia and maybe Toma, and we're just gonna see if we can beat it with this. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Sacrificial sword where?
May the Archon protect.
Oh wait, maybe I just don't understand how this works. Okay, we're gonna try and just use Rosaria again, and I think that should do it.
You can't run. Lights out. Surprise. Punishment.
Here's backup.
Surprise baptism.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
All right, a little close for comfort, but we were able to do it just barely with the full stars. And we'd never have to use Child again. Excellent. Okay, now we have Melt Origins. That's good for our Linny, but we don't have Rosaria anymore, so that's a bit rough. We'll take another Trial Companion because we're really lacking in characters. Oh, and Farina and Escoffier. Okay, who's... We don't have any cryo characters yet, so we'll get Farina.
Magnificent.
Another free mystery cache. Restore vigor to a principal cast member. Or... when you select a companion event, 1 more character will be added to the selectable lineup. So we get better choice or vigor. More vigor is better. So we get Dahlia back. That's fine. We'll take Dahlia. And we have 120. So we could either save or get another melt one. We don't really have any cryo characters, or so we could either get maybe we'll get another companion here. We still don't have any cryo at all, so I could get Escoffier. I kind of want to save Escoffier for later, though, so I'm gonna get Hu Tao, and then we have our climactic showdown. So this one, all about having pyro. This is the other thing that I haven't been as cognizant of as I probably should be. So you want to go to challenge details, and then you can go here, and this is where you're planning things out. So we want to make sure we're saving our freeze characters for the leeway lion cat thing, as well as for the automaton at the very end. We really want to make sure we're saving our freeze characters for those, and we want to make sure we're saving our hydro character for the dragon, the red dragon, and we want to save our pyro character for this boss right here, the automaton. So that's like what you want to be cognizant of as you're using your characters, is getting rid of the bad ones and saving the good ones for those specific bosses. So, you know, Skirk and Escoffier, I'm going to try and save them for the leeway cat and the automaton, and I'm going to try and save Farina for the dragon, and you can kind of use whatever else you want along the rest of the way. Let's see if my Hu Tao has artifacts. Hallelujah, my Hu Tao is built. She's on her build, so yay. Okay, so we'll just do the exact same thing again. I think we were totally fine.
Now no, my sword, rain cutter.
No issues. We just got a bit nervous and used Hu Tao when we should have been using Linny, basically. Whatever.
Here's Becca! A round of applause!
This isn't good.
Alright, no problem. No problem. We get more Fantasia flowers, and then do we want Mualani or Mona? Oh, we'll take Mualani. Sounds good to me. So we can do more freeze, more melt, or free mystery cache. We always take the free one. When future events are drawn, one is guaranteed to be companion random. After selecting this, companion events cost 10 fewer Fantasia flowers, while brilliant blessings cost 10 more Fantasia flowers. Neither of these I particularly care for. So I'll just get this, whatever. And then companion pyro or companion invite. We don't need anything specific right now. So I'm just going to go with companion pyro. And we'll take yoimiya.
Companions! Hooray!
Companions! Hooray! When choosing a mystery cache event, you can reset selectable effects 1 time. Selectable effects increase by 1 when choosing mystery cafe event. Sounds fine. More freeze, evolution, or companion random. That's fine. We've already used all our Fantasia flowers. Now it's either, again, the lava guys or the ruin guys. We'll go with the ruin guys. I'd rather... Well, or we could do the lava guys and do Mualani. That sounds good. I like that. So we'll do Mualani, and then we'll do off-field pyro. So we'll take out Hu Tao, because she's good for DPS, and we'll use Xiangling. Just kidding. Xiangling is enough. She has enough ER that she can just get at every location.
Amazing.
So this is a two-man team with Mualani here. Okay, not enough for a burst.
Catching at the flame! Woo! Nice and spicy. A festive reprise. Carving waves.
Alright, so we'll use yoimiya here, because Xiangling wasn't quite ready.
Amazing. Just eat this.
Alright, easy peasy. And we get Skirk or Barbara. We will take Skirk so we can have her ready for the showdown, climactic showdown that's coming up soon. We'll take a companion. We'll take Mika as a healer for Farina since we don't have a Escoffier
My
yet.
lance and crossbow are prepped and ready.
My lance and crossbow are prepped and ready. Not enough Fantasia flowers. Okay, that's fine. And now we can either do the Wolfies or this guy. We'll do... I don't know what kind of healers we have, so we'll do this one.
Let me read you.
That was too good.
Final warning. Let's keep going.
Final warning. Let's keep going, team. Go.
So we're kind
Let's
of...
keep going, team.
It's not guaranteed, but it should be. It should be okay. It's a bit close, but it's fine.
Fire, pants on fire.
Whew, did it. So freeze, origin, or vaporize. Finally, we get the vaporize one. Jeez. Then companion pyro, companion random. We'll just do this climactic showdown. We don't need... We have our cryo team already. So we don't have a Escoffier, but we did get Skirk. So I will take it. And do we choose Mulan? Is my Mulani on Cinder or is she on damage? She's on damage, so that's good. We'll do, I mean, Trial Risley kind of sus, so we'll just do this. I think this should be fine. Or maybe we'll do Mika, because the cryo application is not as important as the later cryo application on that other one. We'll have to make sure that we don't use the final one. Oh my god.
Let the world collide!
The damage. And this is with no the Skirk one. Because you need to trigger Shatter or Melt. Ryo can punch it? Okay. Good call. I forgot the mechanics. Yeah, there it is.
Let's begin.
Shower me with praise!
So we got him weakened.
Providing cover fire.
Who needs healing, I guess? There we go. Just a skill issue. No problem. It is cool that Ryo can shatter. It's awesome. Okay, Bennett or Mona. We'll take Bennett. Why not? We'll take some more Melt Divergence. Or Companion Pyro. Either one really matters. We don't need Pyro. We don't need Melt. We'll take our Companion Random, I guess. Pyro Traveler or Chongus. I guess Pyro Traveler for some scroll buffs is going to be pretty good. There's still a long road ahead. We'll do Battle Normal for... we'll do the Consecrated Beasts. So we have to make sure we don't use our Farina again because we're saving for the Fire Dragon. I think... we'll do Risley and more Mualani. That's what we want. So we'll apply normal. Get that. Nice. Huge damage. Oh my god, Mualani. Holy shit. What the heck was that? That's crazy, bro. That's insane. That was epic. That was epic. Tidal Shock or Pyro Shock, whatever. Oh, whatever, who cares? Oh, wait, no, I should have taken... Oh, frick. I should have taken the other one so that Mualani could vape easier. Although that might have been our last Mualani, so it's fine. We'll do the Climactic Showdown. We need Farina... Oh, wait, we don't have any DPS. Can we rewind? When will it rewind to? We need more characters. So, it's going to be Farina, Bennett, Chongyun, Mona. So, it's deep, it's hyper carry Chongyun. That's what this team is. Ooh, the damage is just not here, eh?
Everybody stand back!
We might have to use a Scoffy. Oh, we can use a Scoffy. Oh, we're so good. We're good. We need a Scoffy. Because we only need a Scoffy for the final boss. So we can't use Skirk, but we can use a Scoffy over Bennett. So this should do the trick. Because we can just save a Scoffy for the final showdown. So here we go.
A burst of flavor!
A burst of flavor! I shouldn't have used Monitor.
Delve into destiny. Let the world collide! The pinnacle of excellence!
From whence you came, a touch of frost.
A touch of frost!
Fate is upon the praise! Time to shine!
This is not super
Decided by
easy.
destiny.
Submit.
We
for
did it,
judgment.
but like, that's with Escoffier and Farina. That's not super easy. Now we don't have Farina for the final boss. It's fine, we have Candace. No problem. We can't use Escoffier, Skirk, But we can use Shenhe, Ganyu, Pyro Traveler, Bennett for buffing, something like this. That sounds fine.
Frost.
Born of ice and by ordinance divine.
20 seconds
Obey.
for 4
Unleash.
more.
Everybody stand back. This is long overdue. No touching.
Spirit Blade. Attack. Forth.
I don't think this is gonna happen. Can we do it with this cast? I regret the shield. Yeah, no way this is happening, exactly. I may have to use Escoffier with 1 and Skirk with 1 here. I don't know if I can do it otherwise. We'll try Skirk, Shenhe, Ganyu, and this, and then we'll use Escoffier, one of them, Chongyun, and Mona. I don't see myself beating it otherwise.
By ordinance divine. All hail. Born of ice. Flee. We shall paradigm shift.
Oh my god. Oh, to have a real DPS. Jesus Christ.
Take your true form. Cryo incarn. For Rex Lepis.
Do your worst.
Merciless. Another star goes out.
Okay, and then it is Escoffier, Shenhe, Ganyu. It's just mono cryo Escoffier. Mona. You don't need freeze, right? That doesn't do anything, so we'll just... I mean, Mona's good. We can buff Ganyu.
The pinnacle of excellence. My will embodied. Manifest. Do your fate is upon you. All hail. Access denied. Delves into depth. Goose on the loose.
The damage is low, baby.
By ordinance divine. Take your trip. For Rex Lepis. Born of ice and...
It's not Ganyu's fault in particular. It's the fact that she's not built for damage. She's built for ER. Oh, our Ganyu has no artifacts. Okay. Okay, we're buffing Chongyun then.
The pinnacle of excellence.
From whence you came.
Spoke too soon, baby. So close. Does Charlotte have build? Oh, she's on TDS. That means Mona's not on TDS. That means we're good.
The audacity! Goose on the loose! My will and...
Spirit Blade.
Cryo incarnate! A dash of frosting! A burst of flavor!
So close, bro.
Breaking news!
What happened?
Hold that post!
So,
Submit
we
for
still get...
judgment.
You're saying we
A touch
still
of
get max
frost.
rewards with this? I guess we'll just call it.
Off
The
to
lesson is
freezer.
to build your characters.
Unleash! By ordinance divine.
The lesson is to build your characters. Okay, so you can afford to miss one. Alright, well, there you go. So, hopefully, even though I couldn't quite get it because I didn't follow my own advice, that the advice itself was actually helpful, and hopefully it was at least entertaining. Let me know your tips for Imaginarum Theater down in the comments, and please subscribe while you're down there. And if you don't want to do any of that, that is totally fine. Just watching the video has been more than enough. Thanks so much. Bye for now.